إذا دخل رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب جهنم وسلسلة الشياطين. When the month of Ramadan comes, the gates of heaven are opened while the gates of hell are closed and the devils are chained. What is the meaning of Ramadan? Ramadan derived from an Arabic root ra mim zod, that is rams, which has three clear meanings in Arabic. One of the meanings of rams is to burn and burn, as fire burns things. Just as fire burns to ashes, so fasting burns away all human slips, shortcomings, and sins as if they were not. And if the metals are burned in the fire, then their density, that is, crushed dead, disappears, and a spark comes into it. And the same way, the heart and soul of the fasting person becomes pure and transparent in the month of Ramadan, and it becomes like a candle. The second meaning of Ramadan, the rain that rains on the earth heated by heat of the sun and completely eliminates its heat and warmth, creating a pleasant, smooth feeling in the atmosphere. In this sense, Ramadan means a month in which the heat of human sin and sin dies down and the fasting person feels refreshed. The third meaning of the Arabic root ra mim zod is to sharpen the edge of a spear, arrow, or a sword. For example, a spear or a sword is sharpened by rubbing it on a rock. For this, an Arabic word, Ramzun Nasl, is called. In the same way, the fasting person becomes like a sharp sword by cutting off every disbelief and falsehood. It seems that the month of Ramadan affects the fasting person in three ways. One, he burns all his sin like fire. Second, and then it purifies the body and soul in the burning of sins and brings relief. Third, and by making transparent the rusty heart from small and big mistakes, by making the strength of faith of the fasting persons a sharp edged number, it prepares him to fight against every falsehood. Now the question arises that what is the purpose of fasting? Allah Almighty has been sending all the prophets for only two purposes. One, to create piety in human beings. Two, to set an example of good brotherhood. Each prophet has been teaching differently to worship God in order to achieve the goals mentioned above. As is the case with five pillars of Islam which have been imposed on every Muslims. Don't associate anyone with Allah Almighty as your deity. Establishing prayers, fasting, continue to pay zakat,
and to perform Hajj for every able-bodied person. All of these elements, fasting is the kind of worship that fulfills both of these purposes when the height of piety is also achieved. Two, and a good brotherhood is established. A true fasting person, purely fearing the God only, establishes a real relationship with his God by keeping his thoughts, tongue, hands, and feet bound by the commands of God and by offering a practical demonstration of self sacrifice. And that ensures the establishment of justice by becoming a practical image of piety. He himself, feeling the intensity of hunger, helps to satisfy the hunger of every hungry person. In this way, he promotes the establishment of an unparalleled brotherhood. But always keep in mind strictly, if a fasting person doesn't have these goals in his mind, then he will not benefit at all. Therefore, the Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, said, if a person doesn't have lies in his character and speech while fasting, then Allah doesn't need him to be hungry or thirsty. Therefore, it is recommended that let us recognize the spirit of fasting in this month of Ramadan. Let our fast not be reduced to hunger and thirst. God bless you. Barakallahu azim wa ma alayna illa al balagul mubin.